Good morning, Brandcliff House. So in 1943, the psychologist Abraham Maslow presented his popular theory of human motivation. Many of us are familiar with it and we've studied it in life orientation. Now, as you know, Maslow's hierarchy can be visualized as a pyramid, starting with our lower needs, which must be satisfied before we can meet our higher needs. Now, the first level of needs is our physiological needs. These are our biological needs that we require for life. Things like water, food, air, and sleep. And the fact that you're watching this video online makes it safe to assume that you have many of these physiological needs met: your food, water, air, and shelter. The next level is safety. And this level deals with our need to feel physically and emotionally safe from harm and genuine threats. I'll also assume, for the purposes of this video, that you are currently not in any grave physical danger, so we can move on to the third level. And now we get into the higher level of needs, and the level in this case is our need for love and belonging. Now this is our need to feel unconditionally supported by someone else, and also our need to provide such support and love to other people. Much of our high school experience is us beginning to explore and expand our understanding of these higher levels. So we have a great need for close friendships and stable family relationships so that we can attain our higher levels on Maslow's hierarchy. And one of the many challenges that young adults face is identifying and cultivating these positive relationships. Now, the fourth layer of our needs deals with our self-esteem. And this level deals with our need to genuinely appreciate and respect ourselves. This is where we require respect from others. We need the feeling of accomplishment and also the need for independence. Now that's an important step in high school because we want to make our mark, we want to explore our identity, we want to set ourselves apart as unique individuals and assert our independence. The final level is the level of self-actualization. And this top level of the pyramid is, as Maslow saw it, the final level. It's what we all ultimately strive for. That's where we realize our full potential, we achieve self-fulfillment, and we seek personal growth. In high school, it can be hard to achieve this level, but you can start by setting your goals, discovering our true purpose, and finding out what we are passionate about. And Maslow himself said, well, there's no one-size-fits-all path to self-actualization. So we can ask ourselves now, well, which level of Maslow's hierarchy are you currently working on? And you might say, well, to Mr. Maslow, well, listen here, Abraham, this model is great and it's a cool pyramid. It really is nice and colorful, but there's currently a global coronavirus pandemic going on. Schools and businesses are on lockdown in South Africa. It's apocalyptic. We can't go to the mall. We can't get our hair done. And regardless of what level of Maslow's hierarchy you were currently working on about a month ago, the COVID-19 situation has knocked us all to the bottom of the pyramid. And many of us are currently feeling overwhelmed, we're feeling anxious, stressed out, we're feeling fatigued. The current global situation has us facing uncertainty in almost all aspects of our lives. Now, these massive changes that occurred just a few weeks ago were not only economic and social. About a month ago, many of us were still making progress and meeting our higher needs for love, belonging, and self-esteem. And then cataclysmically, we found ourselves in our current situation, functioning on survival mode, having to meet just our physiological and our safety needs in a state of lockdown. And such unpredictable and sudden changes in our basic needs have been extremely stressful emotionally. So what options do we have at the bottom of the hierarchy? What do we have to do? Luckily for us, UNICEF, the United Nations Children Fund, has some guidance for young adults to meet their basic needs, and their physiological needs and their safety needs under lockdown. The first thing that we can do is we can recognize that your anxiety at this point is completely normal. It's a normal and healthy function, your anxiety, that alerts you to threats and helps you to take measures to protect yourself. So don't feel guilty, feeling anxious, because you're definitely not the only one. The second thing we can do is we can create distractions for ourselves. So if you're freaking out about COVID-19 and the global situation, it's very helpful to divide the problem into two categories. First category is things you can do something about, and then there are things that you can do nothing about. So if you're worried about the second category, the things you can do nothing about, take your mind off it. Watch a movie or read an interesting book. Do something that you enjoy to take your mind off that. The third thing we can do is we can find new ways to connect with our friends and those closest to us. So although the internet does have many, many downsides, there are lots of positive and creative ways for you to interact with your friends online. Fourth thing we can do, we can focus on ourselves. You must focus on you. Investigate, practice, learn the things you always wanted to do that you never got the chance to due to your busy daily lives. The fifth thing we can do is we can feel our feelings. So you're all missing our friends. We're feeling sad. We're feeling frustrated. We are angry. We are miserable. And there are perfectly good reasons for feeling those things. And each of us will deal with them in different ways. We could reach out to our friends. We might need some alone time. We might create art or listen to our favorite music. So process your feelings in your own way. The last thing we can do is we can be kind to ourselves and to those around us. Lashing out at other people is definitely not a great way to deal with our emotions. So we're all going through some confusing feelings at the moment, but choosing your words carefully, supporting your friends, and considering how our actions may affect others are great ways to be kind to ourselves. Then, in conclusion, Maslow's model has received its fair share of criticism over the decades. However, it's still a useful tool for explaining the emotional state we're all in. Young adults are drowning in a sea of uncertainty. When will schools return? How will I catch up? When will it all end? You can only deal with one crisis at a time. Your current priority is making sure that you eat and drink to remain healthy and that you are emotionally and physically safe. That is it. That's all you can and should do right now, regardless of the expectations placed upon you. In the future, you will have plenty of time to meet your other higher needs. However, these higher needs will require a solid foundation in order to be met. Otherwise, we will have difficulty attaining self-actualization. So for now, stay safe and stay healthy. I know it sounds like a hashtag, but you're really just fulfilling your basic needs. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.